Talk about Sophie Cunningham making some comments about WNBA fans, what she believes fans may not have right about WNBA players, and how a lot of fans feel about, I would assume, hard plays, aggressive plays. I'm not quite sure.
For a long time, the Women's National Basketball Association believed everything was stable. The league acted as if its biggest star would always stay. But new numbers shared by a respected former player suggest a different reality. They show that if Caitlin Clark ever decided to leave, it would not be shocking. In fact, financially, it could make perfect sense. The message is becoming clearer. This is no longer about loyalty to a league. It is about huge financial opportunities that could reshape women's basketball. Those opportunities raise real questions about whether the sport's most valuable star will always remain inside the WNBA. At the same time,
last year had volunteered to join the Fever as Caitlin Clark's enforcer. And that's Angel McCautry. She played in the league forever. She's 39 years old now. And really good player. I mean, a 6-time All-Star, 2-time scoring champ, averaged 18.6 points a game in her career. And she makes some comments about Project B that's very interesting. And I think she's saying the quiet part out loud, that some players may forego the W.
Recent strong comments from Sophie Cunningham have added even more tension, showing how uncertain the situation has become and why some players may start thinking seriously about their future options. The biggest potential disruption comes from a new and largely unknown project called Project B. This is not a small side competition. It is being built around a financial model that the WNBA has never been able to match. Instead of slow salary growth and long contract negotiations, Project B is reportedly preparing offers at an entirely different
WNBA, not unrivaled, the W, in order to play in this new league. She also squashes the myth about, players have talked about, I want to be able to stay in the States. I don't want to go overseas, blah, blah, blah. She says that's kind of BS. That sounds like a negotiating tactic is what it is. So, Sophie Cunningham, let's check this out.
I'm not just speaking for myself. I think I'm speaking on behalf of probably the whole league, that when people see us competing and trying to fight to do anything it takes to win, because this is a hard league.
Different level. The plan is straightforward. Attract the best players with salaries so large they become almost impossible to refuse. If the strategy works, it could start a wave of players leaving their current teams, especially the biggest stars who drive attention and revenue. Former WNBA All-Star Angel McCautry recently addressed the situation directly. She did not avoid the issue or soften her words. Instead, she explained the financial reality players must consider when deciding where to compete.
Sophie Cunningham, let's check this out.
I'm not just speaking for myself. I think I'm speaking on behalf of probably the whole league, that when people see us competing and trying to fight to do anything it takes to win, because this is a hard league, that they automatically think that's what you're like off the court. People need to get to know us players more, and I think if they do, they fall in love with us. And so not judging the competitive side of us compared to our off court.
Just wondering, do fans do that? Because I don't. I've never one time have I seen somebody's play and been like, they must be real nasty off the court. They must be real.
McCautry, who even publicly offered to protect Caitlin Clark during her rookie season, speaks from years of personal experience in the league. Her comments highlight how large the gap has become between traditional WNBA salaries and what new opportunities may offer. The difference in pay she described is dramatic. A typical WNBA maximum contract sits around $90,000 for top players. Compared with other professional sports leagues, that number is extremely small. Now compare that with Project B's
reports on what else does the player got going on off the court. Do they take basketball seriously, or do they want to be a celebrity influencer? Well, you know what I'm talking about, right? So, I thought that was interesting and that you guys would want to see that. Let's go over here. This is the Good Follow podcast. Hell, go subscribe. It looks like it's relatively new. The lady on the left is Angel McCoughtry. Like I said, we're talking about a real force in the league. 5-time All-Star, 2 times
Reported minimum salary of about $2 million. That is not a simple raise. It represents a massive leap, roughly 20 times more money even for a bench player. Numbers like that explain why the WNBA struggles to compete financially and why staying in the league can sometimes feel like a difficult business decision for athletes whose careers are limited in length. The offers reportedly include more than just higher salaries. Project B is also considering something,
and how that's going to, she gives you a perspective of how players are going to look at this money, and you can tell from her reaction, it's like, whoa, that's a whole different level of cash we're talking about.
The max was $90,000.
I mean, even just say, like, you haven't been playing the league for, what, 1-2 years or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Let's just even talk now. You're a current
Okay, I'm a current player.
These players are making max $250.
Now I'm making $250, then $90. And let's see, $5 million, $2 million. I mean, guys, you do the math. Who's going to turn that down? Then I have a chance to have equity in this league.
traditional leagues rarely provide: equity ownership. Instead of only receiving a paycheck, players would also receive a stake in the league itself. That means if the league grows in popularity and value, the players would share in that success. It changes the relationship entirely. Players would become partners in the business rather than simply employees. For athletes thinking about long-term security and building real wealth,
50, then 90. And let's see, $5 million, $2 million. I mean, guys, you do the math. Who's going to turn that down? Then I have a chance to have equity in this league, and this league could possibly grow. I mean, Project B, aka Project B, let's get it.
Yeah.
You know,
Feels like common sense almost.
it feels like it is common sense. I mean, honestly, I see a lot of girls. If you're going to get paid $5 million, why put your body through playing in the WNBA? Well, is that what? That's what I see coming.
Well, here's the another aspect of this too. I thought the whole trend and point of some of these new leagues popping up was that the trend was going, players wanted to stay home in the U.S. And so that's an advantage that
that kind of opportunity is extremely appealing. McCoughtry simplified the question in a way everyone can understand. If another league is willing to pay you several $1 million each year, why would you continue risking your body for far less money? Her point challenges the entire structure of professional women's basketball. Players face a demanding schedule, constant travel, and physical wear on their bodies. When a much larger financial reward appears somewhere else, it forces every athlete to rethink their priorities.
You're fixing to see a lot of surprising names, I have a feeling, sign up for this league because they think the W is going to 850 or 1 million. Okay, well, what do you think they would pay Asia Wilson? 8 million, 10 million a year, so 8 to 10 times more than they're paying now. Caitlin Clark, 15 million, 20 million, 25 million. I mean, I don't know. People seem to get offended when I bring that. Why? Why wouldn't you?
Priorities, especially those stars who drive television ratings, ticket sales, and sponsorship deals. She also challenges another long-standing belief about WNBA players. For years, people have argued that athletes prefer staying in the United States rather than playing overseas. That idea has often been used to explain why domestic leagues remain attractive. But McCoughtry disagrees strongly. According to her, the real factor is money. Players are willing to travel anywhere in the world if the opportunity provides life-changing earnings. In other words, geography matters far less than the size of the paycheck. McCoughtry supports her argument by sharing her own experiences playing overseas. She recalls some of her favorite years in Istanbul, where she enjoyed the culture, the food, and an active social life during the season. From her perspective, playing abroad is not a hardship. In many cases, it can offer a better lifestyle and stronger financial security. Her first-hand perspective challenges the idea that athletes must stay close to home to be happy. The financial comparison becomes even clearer when looking at newer American leagues. For example, the unrivaled competition reportedly offers around $250,000 per season. While that number is higher than many WNBA salaries, it is still far below the $2 million minimum being discussed for Project B. One season in Project B could equal several WNBA seasons or nearly a decade in some alternative leagues. When those numbers are projected to superstar players, the figures become even more dramatic. Some estimates suggest Aya Wilson could potentially earn $8 to $10 million per year in a new league environment. For Caitlin Clark, some projections go even higher, possibly $15 million, $20 million, or even $25 million annually. When compared with the WNBA's current salary structure, that level of money becomes extremely persuasive. Some analysts even compare it to Clark's long-term endorsement deal with Nike, suggesting she could earn in just a few seasons what a major sponsorship might provide over many years. Once the math looks like that, the argument about staying in the United States becomes far less convincing. The real question becomes simple: where can players earn the most? Financial pressure is not the only issue surrounding the league right now. At the same time, comments from Sophie Cunningham recently created a separate controversy involving fans. She suggested that many spectators judge players only by what they see during games: hard fouls, trash talk, and intense reactions, and may not fully understand who those athletes are away from the court. While her intention may have been to remind people that players have different personalities outside competition, the comments did not land well with many fans. Some felt they were being criticized or dismissed for simply reacting to the behavior they witnessed during games. Because the league depends heavily on fan support for ticket sales, television ratings, and sponsorships, tension between players and supporters can quickly become a serious issue. Cunningham also tried to clarify that there is a difference between aggressive play and actions that cross the line into dirty behavior. However, by the time she made that distinction, many listeners had already formed their opinion. Fans often believe they can recognize the difference between tough defense and unfair play, and they did not appreciate being told they misunderstood the game. That is why the reaction online spreads so quickly. Short video clips circulate without full context, and discussions grow rapidly across social media. Instead of helping players and fans connect, the comments ended up widening the gap between them. When this tension is combined with the growing financial pressure created by Project B, it creates a complicated situation for the WNBA. The league suddenly appears unstable from several directions at once, and that makes the idea of players leaving for new opportunities seem more realistic than ever before.